hello! Pawnshop guy was useless as shit, throwing away our stuff like it was garbage. What on earth would possess a man to throw things out just because fart jokes were etched into them?
Common sense, confidence in their products, fart jokes and their general degradation of human society.
I get it, but how else would we know which of these things are ours?
Well, now it will be clear. Anything that isn't ours is garbage.
Speaking of having distinctions between things we like and garbage, I think it's time we try and make another tier list.
I would argue, but I think the fumes are getting to me. So yeah, what do you on a tier list?
Paper Mario games!
Ah, good. You pick something else coherent and intelligent. Let's begin.
Paper Mario, a series that brought Mario to a brand new dimension, satisfying both our hunger for Mario and RPG elements. Super Mario RPG Legend of the Seven Stars may have done that in spades when it came out, leaving some giant shoes for Paper Mario, the sequel series, to fill. Decades of it have proven that some of it is up to snuff, but now it's time to put them all on a list.
Let us begin on the Nintendo 64 with the very first entry in the Paper Mario series, Paper Mario.
The first installment introduced us to the man of Nintendo in a whole new light on a very similar questline from his previous games. Princess captured, Bowser is the cause, get to it Mario. Only this time instead of running world to world, stomping Goombas, kicking shells, and breaking blocks, Mario must assume the role of a protagonist in yet another RPG story. Initiating battles, defeating bosses, acquiring items to help him cross obstacles, and helping NPCs to get extra upgrades and such.
Paper Mario was the advent of the series, bringing together beloved characters and elements into one unforgettable adventure. There were twists on classic character designs that produced memorable characters that many of us still regard as some of the best character editing to date, looking at you Koopa Bros. Even battles felt rewarding, with experience points to earn and clear, easy to understand and master action commands. Bosses felt like proper climaxes for each chapter, puzzles were simple and yielded great rewards, the few side quests were full of fun and personality. This first Paper Mario game is something to behold and worth a replay at least once every year just to remind you how good early day Nintendo-based Mario RPGs were.
Prologue to final chapter, Paper Mario on the Nintendo 64 fucking oozed personality and fun. It is almost too much to handle. The first Paper Mario will sit at the top of our tier list, in the S tier. Its spectacular use of the paper aesthetic, the twists on the classic Mario formula, the timeless designs and redesigns of beloved characters, the badges, bosses, battles, it all just culminates in the ultimate Paper Mario experience. S tier, no doubt.
The next entry in the series, Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door, hit the Nintendo GameCube in 2004 and set to reignite the emotions felt while playing its prequel. It even introduced an entire slew of new characters to love, new partners to power up and favor, more side quests to endure, and more badges to collect. When Paper Mario came back, it came back bigger than ever.
Thousand Year Door expanded the universe in which Mario took place by introducing us to Rogueport and the various new areas attached to it. With those came new characters to love like the Punies, literal dragons, and bob-ombs.
What, you didn't already love those things?
This made me love them more. Look at the top hat one, or the mustached one, or the bulky one that wants to kill you. All of them are so simple, yet so awesome. Even the X-Nauts have unique and memorable designs.
Thousand Year Door certainly increased the amount of powers and collectibles to find, as well as the characters to meet. At the same time it was enthralling us with its world, it was also padding its runtime with a lot of backtracking and fetch quests. While the first game did have a good bit of backtracking, it was lessened if the bob-ombs were found throughout the game, seeing as to how Chapter 6 was the only real backtracky chapter. Thousand Year Door had several chapters where backtracking was necessary for progress.
The backtracking really only popped out at us upon a replay of the game though. Upon a first playthrough, everything is so new and shiny, it's probably not as noticeable. Either way, the repetition and backtracking make chapters 3, 4, and 6 add up to an experience that only emphasizes how much better the first game is than the second.
Yeah, Thousand Year Door is another excellent Paper Mario game. Unfortunately, it just couldn't match up to the expectations set forth by the prequel. This one still has several strong points about it, however, and has some of the best RPG battle mechanics with super guarding, expanded partner capabilities, and the audience presence during fights. It's still great, but the first still takes it. A tier for Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door.
Finally, onto the most unique entry in the Paper Mario series, Super Paper Mario. Not only is this one of the best Super Mario Bros. Games, it was the last time Nintendo let Intelligent Systems be creative with their Paper Mario character designs. From here, it's just Toads, Toads, Toads.
This game is cool. Annoying, but cool. The designs and graphics are so strange and pop out of almost every single screen. The Linelands, Sammer's Kingdom, Land of Crag, they're all unique and interesting to look at and experience, but this game is annoying. Very annoying. Astoundingly annoying. For one, the story for this game doesn't feel like a complete experience due to the presentation as white text on a black background. If my entire universe is about to end, I would want something more than text on screen with repetitive music playing, at the very least. These are characters we need to be attached to, but the presentation boils them down to annoying commercial breaks between chapters. 2. The 3D aspects of this game aren't fully realized. It's relegated to a stamina bar that limits the amount of time you have to move through longer areas, or you flip to 3D, walk around an obstacle, then immediately flip back. And 3. Super Paper Mario is poorly optimized for the 3D aspects of this game due to the camera's placement, the render distance for the camera, and the fact every level is a long, straight hallway.
Man, this is the last time we have partners and fun, and all we're doing is pissing on it.
Well, it's a tedious game, and one that places so many restrictions on its 3D system. It asks the player to think of new ways to traverse its many platforming puzzles, while trying its best to tell the player not to have too much fun for too long. Only Mario can use it, even while other characters have better platforming skills. I understand why it was done, but imagine using Peach's longer jump, Luigi's scrunching super jump, or Bowser's heaviness.
It may have made moving through most of the boring chapters actually interesting and allowed some more platforming puzzles too. Alas, we will settle for a mediocre game with some fun puzzles, a poppy look, and not much else. Follow us as we play Super Paper Mario in the B tier.
Well, it's official. We've stepped off the ledge of fun and into the ocean of garbage. Face first, drowning in mediocrity and boredom. Our next entry in the Paper Mario series is Sticker Star on the 3DS. This soft reboot of all things Paper Mario is finally in the palm of our hands. But at what cost? At what cost?
The cost of a fucking lot, apparently. The battle system is shit, story progression is shit, sticker collection is shit, characters are shit. This game is wholesale shit. Sticker Star opens with a festival celebrating a sticker comet that lands in the area. Bowser touches it and everything goes to shit. He places Bowser tape everywhere, crumples and tosses a bunch of toads everywhere, and Mario's gotta collect 5 sticker crowns.
The entire game is an absolute slog. Progression is halted and based on sticker collection, thing discovery, and coins. Battles no longer offer experience points and are specifically created to recycle coins and waste supplies. Levels are at least straightforward, until a thing is needed for traversal.
Most, if not all, bosses are absolutely undefeatable unless you have the exact thing needed to beat them. Like a sponge for Gooper Blooper, the fishing hook for a giant Cheep Cheep, or the baseball bat for a huge pokey. Bosses become more logic puzzles to be solved before they even begin. The things needed are usually not clear until after losing a first time, which is such a fucking waste of time.
I just noticed, all the toads, all the enemies, all the bosses, none of them have any character or design to them. Glasses, beards, creativity, they're gone. Nintendo really said color changes only this time, didn't they? How disappointing.
Maligned as I am to admit this, the game actually has a nice look to it. It sucks and the writing is awful, but it looks rather beautiful on the 3DS. I hated almost every moment of the revisit to this game, but I will concede that it does look rather great. Curse you, you rather good-looking game.
D tier. Awful game, awful systems, awful characters, awful game.
Come on, another beautiful looking turd of a Paper Mario game? Look at everything! It all looks so special and lovely. Why? Paper Mario Color Splash brings our favorite flat hero back to us in another god-awful adventure so similar to Sticker Star you can change the name cards and stickers and you'd never know the difference.
Yep. Bowser messed with another power he shouldn't have that put the land in danger. Yet another annoying and bothersome guide character. Battles still only offer coins. Just awful.
Don't worry, Andy, it even added some awful things that we will loathe forever.
Yay!
Like the dance sequences.
Alright!
Don't you just love these time-wasting pieces of crap?
Yep.
Things that can't be used to solve the thing puzzles only because they're replicas.
My favorite.
Doesn't that make the logic puzzles with things as answers so much easier?
Something like that.
And the paint hammer.
Oh!
Another venue through which to earn coins and progress the game that is quite literally only a stamina bar.
Mama!
Doesn't that excite you?
No. Neither does this vignette around the screen at all times, giving the game a pinhole look. Why would they do that? It's meant to be a colorful world to explore on my HD TV. Why force the player away from the edges of the screen to the center where more white outlined characters are? Oh yeah, the white outlines that make no sense. We know every character is paper. We know Mario is paper. We know Peach is paper. The white outlines are completely useless and add nothing to the aesthetic of everything. As though every bad idea from Sticker Star couldn't be carried over fast enough, they also took some inspiration from Wind Waker HD and added bloom to everything. Absolutely everything! This is a game, not a sunglass store with the sun always positioned to make all the shades reflect it.
Damn, Andy.
So many mistakes were made with this series, so many that could have been avoided. No reinvention was needed. The RPG mechanics of the past were refined and perfected by Thousand Year Door. Even Super Paper Mario had some solid gameplay in it. Sticker Star reinvented the wheel, and Color Splash continued to ruin that wheel.
Don't worry, Andy. There's one more Paper Mario game that also tried to reinvent the wheel in several literal ways.
Neat.
Paper Mario Color Splash goes in the D tier. Somehow it's worse than its prequel, even though the differences are too few to actually name.
The final installment in the Paper Mario series, and what an awful installment it was. Paper Mario the Origami King, seeking to reinvent itself one more time, this time on the Switch. Nintendo even relaxed the amount of creativity restrictions they placed on this installment. We have 2 new characters in Olivia and Ollie, visitors from the Origami Kingdom, the only 2 to exist, apparently.
Don't forget, there's also no new things in this game. This time, they're bosses instead. The dance sequences are back, the paint hammer is back, the stamina meters are back, and the situational special traversal powers are back. The awful god character is even back.
Everything we hated about the last 2 games returns with a vengeance, huh? Not only these, but more things to confuse and dilute the Paper Mario formula are thrown in for good measure, like the paper mache battles, useless characters that follow you and gave us hope for the return of partners, and attack items with hidden stamina bars.
Hey Origami King, why do I need to play you? You obviously don't want the player to play you, evident by the fact you constantly fill us with coins. Coins used to solve the battle system and puzzles, which then reward the player with more coins.
The story is invalidated by the rules it sets and breaks, the mechanics are invalidated by the coins you can pay to solve everything. This truly is the most nothing game to ever exist. Awful from beginning to end. We place this game in the lowest tier we've ever placed anything. Triple Z tier, just like a meal from Tales of Symphonia Dawn of the New World and Mario Party 10 before this. May they welcome Origami King like a long-lost brother in the Triple Z tier.
Oh no!
Speaking of trash, Andy, I found a receipt. It's a return receipt.
They have those?
Someone sold our stuff to a local game store for a shockingly low amount of money. $50.
That's a bigger insult than the A-word stealing our things in the first place. Alright, let's get down there and see if our stuff is actually there!
Yahoo!